Hello, everyone. Okay, I dropped my charger. I don't know if I can balance the baby and yep, did it. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna plug this in. Just should have done it beforehand. Here's my hand. It's giant. Hello, everyone. So excited. How is life? How's 2019? I just wanted to come on and give you guys an update and chat for a little bit, answer some questions, and let you all know that I'm still here. I'm still alive, still kicking. Hello, 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 Sarah, hello, Claire, Calvin, Brooke, Amber, Stephanie, Angel, Caitlin. Hello, everyone. Amber, will I be at convention this year? Ooh, I don't know. We actually John and I booked a room on the cruise ship, the Young Living cruise ship, which is in June. There's an Alaskan cruise, and it's all the whole cruise ship is Young Living. It's an 8-day Alaskan cruise. How random is that we would have booked that bid? I'm just not sure if we'll end up going on that or not. If we do, I might not be at convention. If we don't, then I'll probably be at convention. So yeah, let's see. Look, she is a cute baby. This is her happy place. As long as she's laying on me, she is just content snoozing away. If I lay her down, she usually wakes up. Let's see. Okay, couple questions here that I see that I can answer. My ring sling is not right here. It used to be right here. Lily and Mama Market. She has an Etsy shop. I'm not sure if she's still making them. I think she took a break, and I'm not sure if she ever resumed. But I know Wild Bird slings are really good slings also. Which sister is the most excited about Marin? Probably Addie. I think Addie's the most obsessed. Everly likes her too. I mean, they all love her, and they're all willing to help with her and everything. So I'd say it's kind of equal. So let's see. What have I been doing? Let me tell you guys what I've been up to. This is pretty much it. This is really it. John has been home, and thankfully work was really slow for him. He took some time off at the end of the year. So I really have been just resting and soaking in the newborn snuggles, pumping, nursing, and just resting. And it has been kind of a dream. I feel like moms should do it more, and it's not possible for everyone, and it's really hard to steal away that time. But sometimes I feel like we put the pressure on ourselves to jump right back into life, especially if you feel good. Like, I feel okay, so I could go downstairs and resume life, but I would exhaust myself, and I feel like emotionally we need more time to heal and recover, once your hormones are fluctuating and everything like that. So I think the rest is an important thing that a lot of moms kind of overlook, and I did the first 5 times. So I'm really glad to not be pushing myself this time, but just to be taking it all in. Okay, let's see if I can answer some of these questions before they go too far up. Do any of the kids get jealous? Not really, because I feel like John spent a lot of time with them. My mom was here and was spending a lot of time with them right when she came home. And then John's mom has been visiting. So I feel like they've been pretty good. They've adjusted well. I think Everly and Adeline were missing me a little bit, but I've been spending some more time with them. And so, yeah, everybody seems to be doing pretty well. With the exception of school being out the last 2 weeks, the older kids are kind of driving each other crazy, which is driving us crazy in turn. Like Tyler and Elena are fighting nonstop, so heyo, our kids fight too, and it makes us crazy. Let me see. I keep scrolling back and then going too far. Okay. How long do you plan to breastfeed, and how do you wean? I mean, as long as we can. With all of mine, it's ended for different reasons. There's not like a way that I intentionally wean. I've had supply issues. I've had issues with thrush before. I've had Everly, she just self-weaned. Once she started eating like solid food, she was like, peace out, I'm done with this. Didn't want anything to do with nursing, so we'll just kind of go, and every nursing relationship is different. Let's see. The number one asked questions, do you want more kids in the future? I don't know. At this point, I'm just soaking this in. Like, we just had a baby. I'm still healing and recovering. That question gets asked so much, but I like tend to ignore it because I just want to focus on her and, you know, not really think about more kids right now. What made y'all want to start YouTube? That was John. A friend said that we would be good at it, and he was like, oh yeah, we could do that, and just kind of ran with it. Let's see. Sorry, there's so many questions. Okay, how do you come up with their names? It's a combo probably of, I mean, mostly based on name meanings, but also just the way they sound. I feel like with some, like especially Elena, I knew her name before I was pregnant with her. I think that was a God thing. Yeah, but yeah, I do like unique names. I don't like to, you know, pick super popular names, but at the same time, if the name fits, like the meaning of the name is what needs to be important for me. Let's see. Yay! Welcome to Deckerville. That is awesome. Yeah, John is actually making the girls' dinner right now. I'm like walking him through the steps of the Instant Pot from upstairs. I FaceTimed him and told him how to make black beans in it. So that's really funny. Have you heard back if your other girls have celiac? Yeah, we did do an update about that. Their test, it was just a blood test too, so a lot of times these aren't super reliable. So for now, they're all negative. We've not done genetic testing, so they could have the celiac gene. That's probably something we will do in the future, is do the genetic testing just so we can see if we need to keep monitoring. But for now, everyone's just gluten-free except me. Yes. Let's see. Okay. Which one of the girls was the hardest baby? None of them. That's why we have 6. They've all been pretty much like this in the newborn stage. I think if anything, we struggled the most with Adeline, and that's probably, excuse me, because she had thrush, and we had this like 4-month-long battle of thrush, and she wasn't gaining weight. So she slept. It's weird because she wasn't like not sleeping, but we had to like, John had to carry her around and rock her to sleep. In hindsight, it's because she was hungry. But we didn't like put all of that together, if that makes sense. Our thrush issues were exhausting and difficult. 4-month-long battle with that. When do you introduce solids? Usually probably around 6 months, just for fun. We start with avocado and banana and sweet potato. I like to start with avocado and sweet potato because they're really good, rich, healthy fats, and they're good for their brains and help their brains develop. And then banana is just full of potassium, another good one. And we use all organic foods to start out with. But I kind of like modify baby-led weaning to what works for us. Let's see. Oh, you know what, Janet, about the cruise and having to cancel? Okay, I did not pay for the baby because I didn't know you had to. So I'm going to have to look into that. But I thought if they were under a certain age, I thought it was 1 and up that they had to be paid for. But they have to be 6 months to be on it. She might not make it by 1 day. I'm not sure. It was like right at the cutoff, or by 2 hours, really. So I'll have to look into that. We're honestly just not sure. My mom, I'm not sure she would survive watching the rest of them for 8 days. So that's where we're at with trying to decide. But I really, really want to go. John and I kind of need the break. I think. Let's see. How do you cope with 6 kids? I'm not sure yet, because this has been my life since we've had 6. But I can tell you that with 5, it's probably easier than it was with 3, because you kind of learn to let go of things. I don't know, I feel like you hit a certain point, it's probably around 4 kids, where you just learn to pick your battles for the most part, and kind of just go with the flow. You have to really go with the flow in order to survive having a large family. I still am working on that, because I like to control things, and I get overwhelmed easily. I think some of that is like postpartum anxiety that's just trickled over from each kid. Let's see, how many kids did you want before you had kids? I always wanted 2. John wanted 5. And here we are. Maybe we're just adding them together. I'm not sure, but somehow we ended up with more than either of us ever imagined. Do you even do the Young Living anymore? I do, but I've taken a break because my pregnancy was difficult, I think, physically in the beginning, and then towards the end it was very emotionally tumultuous, would be a good word to describe it. And so I just kind of stepped back from everything that wasn't family and necessary, and yeah, but this is my year. This is my year to jump back into all the things. And as soon as the kids start school again, I tried to set my goal for January 1st, but then I realized that they're home for another week, and that, nope, I need them to go back to school, a little bit of peace. I have been decluttering, which I did before she was born, and I'm doing even more, and it feels good. Okay, let me just tell you guys this. If you have not, I'm probably really behind on the questions, so sorry about that. If you have not looked into minimalism, I'm not even talking about extreme minimalism, but just the concept of the lifestyle, the concept of decluttering and letting things go and not having things. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. That would be my other tip for surviving a large family, or any family, or just being a mom in general, or maybe even just being a breathing, living human being, is the more you can learn to let go of stuff, the less you care about stuff, the more you can care about other things. It's like your heart. Your house has a certain amount of space in it. Like, that's just the fact. And so does your heart. Okay, that's not a fact, but in this analogy, let's just take it like that. Because as your house fills up with stuff, it gets really overwhelming, and then there's not enough. You're constantly cleaning, or yelling at kids to clean up, or being stressed with your husband because there's like so much to do and not enough time or energy to do it all. And it's nuts. Okay, like, that has been my number one point of stress for the past, I don't even know how long, but I have been like just miserable as a mom, because we're always like just trying to pick, and our house is not cool, like, it's not like, oh, clean, and I keep it so clean. It's like, just to keep it like this is is a struggle, and get the kids to pick up their stuff, and it's just like everybody's miserable. I started getting rid of things. I threw away everything that was broken or stained or whatever. I got rid of all the things that they really don't play with, even though I'm like, but I spent money on this and it's a nice toy and they really should play with it. Or, oh, I like this so much and bought it because I thought they would, because I really liked it or would have wanted it as a child, and my kids don't play with it at all. I let go of it. So I've started like that process. I'm pretty deep in it, actually. Our garage is filled with stuff that we've gotten rid of. And I can't tell you how much lighter everything feels. Like, our clothes, I'm about to go through that basket right there. Those are all the girls' leggings, jeggings, jeans, whatever. That's it. That's all of them. But I'm going to go through and weed out even more. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that basket right there? That little square basket? That's all their pajamas. I mean, I'm talking not the baby, but I'm talking about all 5 other girls. That's it. Because they don't wear them. They sleep in their underwear for the most part. So I've kept like 2 pairs of pajamas, maybe 3 for the littler ones, for each. I'm getting rid of everything else. Like, I went through my closet and got rid of that whole box down there is stuff that's going. My point in all this is to tell you that I found that the more we get rid of, even the kids' toys, and the less that they have, the less that the less time it takes to clean up. And it still only takes me 20 minutes to tidy everything up because there's not that much stuff. It's just like arts and crafts stuff, which is spread everywhere. But it's so freeing as a parent, and it's so rewarding to not have to be so stressed about cleaning and picking up and yelling at the kids to clean up. We're still working on it. But anyway, I encourage you, if you haven't already started, to look into it. And I heard Marie Kondo has just started a Netflix show called Tidying Up. Maybe you could start watching that too if you're inspired by this, or if you're curious about it, because she teaches you how to go through and minimize. And anyway, that's kind of what I've been focusing on to kind of kickstart this year, is making my life as simple as possible with as little as possible, so that we can be thankful for what we do have and appreciate it and treat it with respect and take care of the things we have and not be overwhelmed by it all. Okay, that was my little like mini rant. I hope that helps somebody out there. How do you find time to clean and declutter? Little chunks at a time. You see, it's taken me 2-3 days now to get through like the clothes, and I've already gone through our clothes like numerous times. So it's a process, here we go, of always. It's not just like you do it and you're done. It's kind of like every month, that's the fan. Oh Lord. Every month you do it a little bit and then you have to do more. Here's the girls' clothes. That's what we're down to. Okay. I think there's a little load of clothes in the washing machine. But for the most part, that's it for 4 of my kids. And then Tyler's are in the closet. Let me show you in our closet. I'm just trying to get rid of stuff in here. Haha. So these are my clothes. That's it. That's all I have. Except my pants. They're right there. But I'm going to hang them up. I bought these pretty wooden hangers, and it kind of inspired me to get rid of things that I didn't like. Because when I looked at the hangers and saw stuff that was hanging on it, that made me go, ugh. And I was like, yeah, I probably am not going to wear that thing. I don't know why, just in my head, I like things to like, look, there's Tyler's clothes, by the way. Minus their pants and stuff. But that's all they need, you guys. Like, they don't need, the more clothes they have, the more laundry I have to do. And in reality, they like to wear the same things over and over again. Yeah, some of these are even baby clothes that are like 6 to 12 months that I washed just to have them clean and ready. Like, I used old laundry detergent and they smelled like the scent from the Tide Pure and Clean. So I washed them 3 times to get rid of all of that so that they're ready for Marin. But yeah, this is it. Makes life really easy. Here's some oils. Here's some other oils, just in case some people ask about that stuff. Those are like the ones John and I use. So like the ones over here are the ones that I usually add to Epsom salt and put in the bath. That's why they have dropper tops. And then over here are like my skin, oils for my skin, John's stuff. Bag of, I would make both. I hope we have cheese for them, but I'm not sure. John's making dinner. Do we have cheese? And corn. I bought corn. Okay, he's making dinner. The girls are having, and we probably are eating also, sweet potato fries. Let me not drop my baby. Sweet potato fries with black beans and corn and cheese. And it's very easy. The kids love it. We just basically throw the corn and black beans and cheese on top of the fries. And that's what they eat. Okay, the wall racks are from Amazon. A live John appearance. He would. He loves this stuff, but he is 5 kids deep downstairs and dinner. So funny. Okay. Oh, there's John. Hey, John. You will starve before she sees your question. Did he ask a question? Oh my goodness, you guys, I didn't see it. Oh, there's the question. This is so funny. Budgeting tips. Kayla, if you find any, let me know. We're not good at budgeting. Our income has always been very sporadic, if that makes sense. Like, it comes from multiple sources and it fluctuates every month. We probably could set a budget. We've just always, I don't know. Even when things have felt really tight, like, God's always provided. It's wild. John and I were thinking about making a video. People ask all the time how we afford to have 6 kids. So we were thinking about doing that video. But I will tell you guys that we scraped by when we had Tyler. Like, of course, we were just starting out, a family and whatever, but John worked multiple jobs. Like, he had 3 jobs, and we were just making ends meet when we had Tyler and Elena. It's like the more kids that we've had, like, God has just, like, provided, whether it's a different job or a promotion or whatever avenue. Like, for me, Young Living has been such a huge blessing in just teaching people about what we're already doing and living and have been for 4 years. And then to be able to have that provide an income so that I can stay home and John now can stay home almost full time has been huge. And I feel like God favors children and families, and just when you're like living in that, I don't know, I feel like he's always just provided. Like, literally, I remember times where we were like, how are we going to pay the bills? Like, how are we going to make the mortgage payment? I don't know. And then all of a sudden we get a $200 check from, like, who knows what. Like, what is this? I don't know. The electric company just refunded $200 for something. You know, like, something weird and random. Like, that's how it's always been. And I'm not sure. I think it's just like, if you are living a life, and like, at least in your heart, striving to glorify God in your decisions, I think he does provide. And then that doesn't mean you don't struggle. Like, we've definitely struggled and we made sacrifices. And even now, to feed our kids healthy foods, we make sacrifices. We don't go do all the crazy fun stuff that we'd like to do. We don't go eat out all the time. John and I probably spend more on us eating food, but like, we definitely make sacrifices compared to, you know, some of the people we know, and that's just because it's a priority. So, okay, let me look at questions again. This is a Bibs Passy. We have a couple. We have an Nature Sitting too. Somebody did ask me how I picked, like, how I picked that. It's made of natural rubber and doesn't have any of the yucky chemicals in it. So there she is. She likes it. See, she's just snoozing away. Her hair is crazy. Super long. Yes, Tammy, like, there are. So you hit those low points and it feels like there's never going to be an end to it. But I don't know, I feel like God's not failed us yet. Like, he's always shown up, even if it's in the 11th hour, like, he's always shown up. And even if we're just scraping by, like, we're still getting by. So, love that. Danielle tries to make out with John. That is so funny. Why did I skip the home birth this time? I think for me it was, I don't know, like, my experience with Everly was so weird. And in hindsight, now after her birth, I know I understand more of it. My pelvis was not right, and so she wouldn't descend down, and so that's why I wasn't in pain at 10 centimeters, because her head wasn't actually engaged, and it was just this long thing. And I feel like I had trouble getting into labor land and focusing, because when people are in my home, I feel the need to, like, entertain them. Nobody makes me feel that way. It's just how I feel. Like, I talk and chat and whatever. It's hard to focus. I think being in the hospital setting, not that I love hospitals, but A, it's a break for my kids. It's a break from me seeing any little thing that needs to be done or cleaned up or whatever. B, the nurses, for the most part, unless, like, they're doing something, will leave you alone. So it's just me and John there, and I could just focus on the task at hand, which was laboring. But in all reality, I realized that my labors were so long and stalled out so much before, probably because of my pelvic issues. So, suggestion to you, if you're pregnant, start chiropractic care now, or if you're not pregnant. But see a chiropractor. It makes such a difference. Her birth was so insanely different from all of my other ones, in a good way. In a good way. And so, yeah, and I attribute that 100% to the Webster technique and seeing a chiropractor and getting my pelvis aligned correctly to have her. So, there's that. Best marriage advice for a young couple looking to start a family. Hold on tight, buckle up, and just, like, the biggest thing with marriage is the commitment. It's not the fuzzy feelings, it's not the love, it's the commitment to, like, things are going to get hard, especially when there's kids. They're going to get hard, they're going to be ugly, but you love each other through it. You make the choice to love each other through it. And I think that that's kind of the key, is to just be stubborn and committed no matter what. The name of the song in our intro is called I Still Remember. I had to think about it because I forgot. I didn't still remember. But it's called I Still Remember. You can find it on iTunes. It's actually John and his best friend Rob who wrote it. And that's actually John singing. And you can download it on iTunes if you want. It's their little music project is called The Empire. So, let's see. Sorry, I'm like trying to make sure I didn't miss things, and I know I probably did. There will be a new intro. Yeah, we need to get some more footage of her. To be honest, I've been like not wearing clothes most days, just hanging out in my bed between pumping and nursing so much. I just like don't wear a shirt, so that's why I've not been in vlogs a whole lot. And so that's also why she's not been in them, because she's with me all the time. Janet asked about, that's a business question, but just to answer your question, my goal in my business is to teach people to teach themselves. We are all our own, like, advocates. We're all our own gatekeepers for our homes. We choose what comes in our home. We choose what we put on our kids and what we put on our own bodies, what we feed ourselves, what we feed our kids. Like, we get to make that decision every single day. So the goal is to teach people how to learn and educate themselves and where to find answers on their own and how to be empowered to make those decisions and to do their own research, and not necessarily to like handhold forever and give everyone the answer all the time. The goal would be to say, like, hey, here's where I would look for that answer, or hey, here's what I do. Like, for me, when I need to know something, I use Google. I look and make sure like that the websites that I'm finding on Google are credible sources, or I use my reference guides. There's so much information out there and so many books that are helpful for learning, especially with oils and things like that, natural remedies and stuff. So usually they're fine. We also have a Facebook group that's like a wellness education group that I connect people in. So for the most part, my whole team has this resource that they can go into, multiple groups that are private for our team, and they can go in and they can ask questions if they need to, and everybody kind of acts like a community and helps teach each other. So me taking a break hasn't had a huge impact. These people can still message me and ask me questions if they need to, but for the most part they don't need to because they have the groups and everybody supports each other. So yeah, it doesn't really like hinder things, if that makes sense. And then the nice thing about that as a business and about a multi-level marketing company as a business is that it is residual income. So even though I've taken a break, I still get a paycheck, which is huge for our family. It's like a huge blessing. Like I said, it's life-changing to be able to take care of our kids. Let's see. Thank you, Maggie, for your policing of the comments, because they keep disappearing on my phone. They like disappear, so I have to keep touching it to get them to pop back up. Okay, let's see. So, Fairy Princess struggling with postpartum depression. My advice is to rest and give yourself grace, to listen to praise and worship music, and lean into Jesus, as well as, I mean, oils emotionally. Like, it's scientifically proven that oils directly affect your hormones and your emotions. So I would definitely say using essential oils. And then, yeah, just giving yourself grace is the biggest thing. Get out, find a purpose, find something to do and focus on. That's something that gives you joy. Because it's easy to like lock yourself up, kind of like I've been doing, but this rest gives me joy. But it's easy to hide yourself away from everything, and that kind of isolates you. And I think it's important to find a community, find friends, and embrace that. Do I sleep at night? A little bit. I usually go to bed at like 1, 12:30. It really depends. By the time I like feed her, get her down, and then I pump before I sleep, and then she wakes up like maybe twice a night. So I do sleep probably more than some people. What bottle and pump do you use? Okay. One, I have this thing. It's I don't know what they're called, but it works like suction, and you actually just use it on the opposite side that you're nursing on, and it collects the milk that naturally flows from one side while your baby's nursing on the other. That thing is magical. Find it on Amazon. 110% recommend that everybody has one of these. I feel like if you just type in silicone like pump, it might come up. I think they're called like Hakkas, like Hakkas. Okay. Second, I have a Medela Freestyle pump that I like, and it's somewhere on my bed somewhere. So I pump it into those and then dump it into like, it's funny, I have milk right here, the bags. Then bottles, we have not used any bottles yet, but the ones that I bought, whoops, you probably can see this lovely angle. I bought some for in case we do want. Can you see those? Nature Sutton bottles. So then they are like totally non-toxic. They're glass. So the bottles themselves are glass. The nipples are made out of like a plant-based rubber, natural rubber. Have in case we do want to use those. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to Hakka. Yeah, that's it. Hakka. Sorry, I know I missed some stuff. I'm trying to like scroll back. Okay. Good oils for your lung support. A few people have asked this. I wouldn't normally answer like such a specific question because it's hard to know. Everybody's different. But anything with like eucalyptus, rosemary is good. Young Living has a couple blends. One's called RE that actually comes in the starter kit. That's really good for respiratory support. Those would be the ones. Actually, I have RC on my bed right now because we have little chest colds here. Let's see. Okay. That is the coughing question. Young Living also makes cough drops. And then with sore throats, we usually use like their cough drops, or I will use honey and I'll add a little drop of lemon and like clove or thieves essential oil to it because that actually numbs the throat. Pretty cool. What happened with Elena's glasses? She still has them. She forgets to wear them a lot. And then like, Elena, wear your glasses. She's like, I don't know. I'm like, you better find them. That's important. They're usually in her room. She just kind of forgets to put them on. And then we forget to remind her. She really hasn't had them very long, so it's still like weird to see her in them. We do need to take her and get more. Let's see. Enjoy your dinner and your evening. Okay, advice for first-time parents. Forget all the things you thought you would do or be as a parent, because, like, probably is gonna change. Grace, and remember that as they grow, like, they're just learning, and that usually the bad behaviors are just things that they're reflecting in us. Learning that now, when I'm like hearing the kids screaming at each other, they're mad and they're like yelling out of frustration, I'm like, why do they always have to like scream at each other? And I'm like, oh, because when we get really beyond frustrated, we're screaming. So they really just learn from you. So John and I have like taken our word for 2019, our family word, gentleness. And we're going to get back to being patient and calmer and handling things without losing our cool. It's very hard to do when you have so many kids and they're home on winter break. But it's important. It's important to like have firm boundaries and have no's mean no, yes mean yes. Consistency is important. But it's also important to do that with grace and with gentleness, especially with daughters. Okay, let's see. The transition into having 3 kids, I don't even remember that transition. We bought a house the month before, like Jude was a month old when we moved. So there was a lot going on. I feel like it was a very exciting transition. And I feel like things were a lot easier when we only had 2 other kids to take care of. It's funny how that changes. Like 1 kid felt so hard. And then 2 was like, oh my gosh, like I have 2, they need things at different times. They nap at different times, like so hard. And now having 6, I'm like, man, it would just be so easy if we could just have like 4 kids for one day. You know, it's very funny how that happens. It has already been 4 weeks, yes. All of the girls are in love. Darnell family. That question is one I typically avoid because it's very controversial. But I feel like if you message me privately, I might tell you the answer to that. Let's see. I know it's not. Are we going to have any more? I have no idea. I really don't know. I thought 100% like I will do all the measures to not. But I don't feel like that. I feel like, I don't know. I really don't know. We'd like to foster. I'd like to foster. John wants to adopt. I would like to adopt. But I also like I don't think that I'm confident enough to say like, no, God, don't give me any more children. I don't want to be blessed. Like, it's a topic that I'm very torn on. And even if we did do something permanent to try to prevent, like, there are still lots of stories of people still conceiving children. So I feel like there's no way to 100% know if we're going to have more. I don't even know if I want to have more. Like, I feel like the answer is always going to be yes when I have a little newborn. Like, every time I look at her, I'm like, oh yeah, I want more. But then realistically, like, now is not the time, probably. I don't know. See, you got me in like this whole thing. That's why I usually don't answer that question also, because I really don't know the answer to it. If you ask John, he would probably say no. Are we still planning on moving? Yes, having a baby and 2 birthdays and Christmas and all the things, we just had to put that dream on the back burner for a little bit, but I think we're going to look into that the beginning of this year. It is something we want to do and we want to do soon, so we'll just have to see. Yes, the girls do share rooms. Our house is big, but it's not that big. So we have 2, Tyler and Elena share a room. Adeline and Jude share a room. Everly has her own room. We have a guest room downstairs that is sometimes like spare kid room for whichever kid's not getting along with their sibling. Excuse me. And then Marin shares a room with us. Oh, look at that smile. It's so sweet. A little sleepy smile. So cute. We are moving, I'm not sure yet. Probably not anywhere far. I like where we live. Yeah, I don't know what the rules in North Carolina are. I imagine they probably have a limitation on that as well. But I also wonder if, income slash size of your house slash anything like that might be like make an exception for foster care. But if not, then maybe, maybe it's adoption is the route we go and not foster care. It really just depends. I feel like God, he's got a plan somewhere. He's definitely got a plan for all of these little nuggets. So, how long was my first labor? I don't remember. I mean, I think I knew I was in labor in the morning. No, I don't know. Isn't that funny? I don't remember, but Tyler was born at 9 in the morning, and I went to the hospital the night before, so I labored overnight. Let's see. Have I ever sleep trained any of my kids? No, not really. They just they've always been good sleepers, except Jude. Jude has had the most problem. She is restless. Like, she does not sleep well. She does not go to sleep well. Once she's asleep, she's fine. She's probably given us the most trouble. But even then, she just comes in here. She just likes to fall asleep, like, with us. Like, so I'll usually be sitting in here with her until she falls asleep, and then we move her to her bed. I think I was 6 when I accepted Christ, so I grew up in church, and then John did the same. I'm not sure exactly how old he was when he made the decision for himself, though. Are we going to adopt a boy? I have no answer to that question. That is totally up to God. Let's see. Do we co-sleep? Yes. She sleeps in this Dakota. Whoops, right here next to us. And then usually around 6 months. It's always depended on how much space we have and moving the other kids around. So this time I'm not really sure what we'll do. But with Everly, she did not sleep well next to me. At a certain point, she slept much better on her own in her own space. Let's see. Janet, Young Living, their income disclosure, you can find it online, youngliving.com/IDS, and that is 100% accurate. It is right from their numbers, from like what they report to the government on what on average each rank earns. So that is a good way to look. And yeah, if you, depending on the work you put in, is where you're gonna grow your business to. And you can grow it as much as you want to. And I will say, the people, like, I have friends who are Royal Crown Diamonds, and that's the highest rank in the company. And yes, it is worth it. If you look, their average monthly salary for a Royal Crown Diamond, every single month they make, I want to say the average now is it's around $180,000 a month for a Royal Crown Diamond. And I know and have met many of them. So if that gives you any inclination. But again, not everybody gets to that level. It just really depends on how much you want it, how hard you're willing to work for it, and if you're somebody who's going to give up or not. It might take 10 years to get to that level. It might take 5. I know somebody who did it in 18 months. So it really just depends on your desire, your effort, and the time that you put into it. But yeah, I would say that it's definitely worth the work. Let's see. Do you ever get any me time? Yeah, John's pretty good about letting me have me time. So we try to get the kids in bed early, usually try to get them to sleep by 8. And then my me time used to look like that. Now with her, I don't have a whole lot of me time. It's like me and Marin time, but that's, to me right now, that's me time. Like, I don't want to do anything other than love on her. Okay. Let's see, I'm sorry. How do I stay in such good shape? I would say I'm not in good shape. I could not run to the stop sign and back. I probably also cannot touch my toes. I am petite framed. Nursing helps lose the weight, but I'm definitely not like physically fit. Something I probably need to work on, but I'm not quite there yet. I don't really like exercise. Let's see. Okay, you guys. We are in North Carolina, Tiffany. Everly has warmed up to Marin. She really likes her now. And I am gonna have to go because my throat is starting to really hurt from talking. Let's see. This is a good question. Have you ever experienced postpartum depression? I have. It's more postpartum anxiety probably than anything. But yeah, no, definitely. And I think I made a video about it after Everly. Could YL be a part-time job and still be able to maintain the lowest rank? Oh, absolutely. Some people maintain the lowest rank you could hit with your own orders if you wanted to. Even the higher ranks, I think the income disclosure will show you the average hours a week that each rank works also. And I want to say it's like 10, maybe, hours a week. There's a lot of freedom in it, and it doesn't really feel like work because it's fun and exciting, and you make a whole lot of friends, and I don't know, like we've been living this lifestyle for 4 years, and I've only been talking about it and helping other people for a year and a half. So it's not like it's something that I just started to do because it was a business. Like, to me, it was just our lifestyle, and then I talked to all my friends about it already, and so then just sharing it intentionally was just another step. So for me, it never really felt like work or like a job. And even now, like I said, it just depends on how you do it and how your team is and how you support people. Like, for me, I had my Young Living orders paid for before we ever even had a YouTube channel, and that was just from like sharing genuinely with my like mom, my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, like from sharing with the people that I loved and cared about and saying, you guys, like, oils are so great, you need them because you can use them for everything, like they're magical, whatever. And just like my genuine love for them in introducing people and talking about them to the people that I know in real life. Like, I never taught a class, I never did anything intentionally, but the people that I was closest to were like, okay, I need some, like, I want to try these things out. And yeah, I had my orders paid for like within 6 months and for 3 years before I ever actually started the business. So if that kind of gives you a perspective, it's not something you have to do. Like, if you treat it like a business, you can grow it like a business, but you can also share casually and get free oils and stuff like that. And so it's very flexible. Have you considered homeschooling? I have. We would love to homeschool, but it's just not in the cards right now. I don't have the patience probably to teach, especially Tyler. She's very headstrong. She already thinks she knows everything. Now her teacher, she's like, no, Mom, my teacher's right. I'm like, yes, it's not that your teacher's not right. It's that there's different things. Anyway, point being, like, she will learn from other people, but we butt heads so much, like, it would just not be pretty. I think one day, when things aren't so chaotic, maybe in a couple years, we could try it, but my sanity is